Alright, so I woke up this morning
Rise and shine.
and I clicked on JW.org and they had the new Watchtower out. And there was an article talking about how near in the future that the Great Tribulation and all this stuff is going to break out. And it just kind of got the old brain salad tossing, and I was thinking about how Jehovah's Witnesses wait their entire lives, and how I couldn't actually think of something that was comparable to that in any other situation that had nothing to do with religion. Anyway, that is going to be Wally's rant today. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Finger guns intro. Yes. Alright, so this morning I had just clicked on jw.org and the newest edition of the Watchtower, the January 2022 study edition. The first article in there, it was just talking about how seeking Jehovah will give you lasting benefits or something. I guess I can get those seeking Jehovah will lack nothing. There you go. And down in paragraph 13, it just talked about in the near future, our trust in Jehovah's ability to protect us will be put to the test. And then there's a picture of like these guys with guns swarming in on this house. I can probably just put it on screen like here. And then there's these angels standing around and they're protecting. And it just got me thinking of how long people have been waiting for this. And I was doing some research for a different video entirely, and I was looking through some old 1950s watchtowers. And even back then, they're using this language of, it's very near in the future, right around the corner, blah, 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 the years remain, this generation will not pass away, all that stuff, right? And I got to wondering, or I guess pondering more about why I had never connected just how long that the Watchtower has been putting this out there. So what I'm on about is, like, I spent my, however many years in the Watchtower, right? And then I've been out, and, people spend 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And I think we tend to just see that, like when I get messages or just YouTube comments, people are like, yeah, I was in the Watchtower for 35 years. And I guess I've almost been, I keep saying I guess, I don't know why I do that, but I've been desensitized to just how long that is. I'm not 35 years old. So when someone comes and says, I was in the Watchtower for 35 years, like I haven't even been alive that long. That's crazy to think about. And it's been like that for over 100 years. For over 100 years, an organization has been stick and carroting people, if you will. Like they have this carrot that is the new world with baby pandas and no more sickness and lots of fruit, particularly melons, right? And they've painted this picture that this is the only outcome of the world. Like there's no other option. This is going to happen. You cannot even question it. And you need to be on this side of it or you will die. They used to be a lot more forthcoming with just simply saying, those who aren't on Jehovah's side are going to be killed at Armageddon. And they've tried to soften that or lighten it slightly, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. And just the more you think about, like, these are human lives that were wasted. Because I look at my grandparents, and I don't know if my grandpa's still alive, but my grandma isn't anymore. But I remember her telling me that she never thought that she would graduate high school. And then she never thought she would get married. And then she never thought she would have children of her own. And then she never thought that those children would graduate school. And then she never thought that her children would have children or get married, and the cycle continues. I remember her, going down this list. I remember my brother. When I think it was Star Wars or Batman, whenever they announced that they were doing multiple films, he said, "Oh, well, that's too bad. We'll never actually get to see the final film because, assuredly Armageddon will be here in the next 10 years." And that's the mindset of witnesses. Well, surely Armageddon will be here before X. And I think, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think most witnesses sort of live this world where the future is right, just like in front of them. Like there's no long-term future for the current life they're living, if that makes sense. So they're living for Armageddon. They're living for Armageddon, which will just shake the fabric of time, space, and everything will be different. But for this life that you're living, having children, having to mow the grass and learn skills and keep yourself occupied, they're not living for this life. And they're living for this future hope. And I guess I got into like this weird depression because I was going to be recording earlier, and it's now 6:40. Hi, Zizi. Hopefully that didn't mess up the sound. The old curly tail grabbing the cords. Anyway, I got into like this weird depression because I realized just how messed up the Watchtower is, and that they keep people in this continuous loop of not living their lives. And just using my grandparents as an example, we never thought we would go to high school. We never thought we would do this. And because of that, they're not actively maximizing their time here on this planet, because they're spending time doing Watchtower stuff, and they're not spending time learning how to cook new, different, interesting international cuisine. They're not picking up a new hobby. They're not going to dinner with their friends. They're not taking extra time to just be with their family members, but they're sitting around writing talks. They're going on Bible studies. They're going to meetings. They're cleaning the Kingdom Hall. They're cleaning the Assembly Hall. They're doing yard work. They're in meetings for the next building project for Watchtower. They're volunteering to go to New York to help build their headquarters. Their entire lives are consumed by this. And then like my grandma, she's dead now. So she went from I never thought I would graduate high school to death, waiting for something that never happened. And I was trying to figure out, like, what is the equivalent of that for people that have never been in the organization? And some people that watch these videos have never been a Jehovah's Witness. And I literally could not come up with something that was similar. Because I don't know of anyone that, let's say they start investing when they're in high school, and it's a broker that never pays out. They never get a dividend. They never see a cent, but they keep giving their money to this broker for their entire lives. And then they die and they never get a penny from it. Like that just doesn't happen. And I couldn't think of anything that people literally shape every waking moment of their life around. And it's just a scam. And they continue just to go along with it. And then they pass that on to their children. So then you have another generation.
Another one.
And you have these multiple generations of people waiting around for something, waiting around for promises that there's no foundation to. Like, why? If you were investing all of your money since high school, and then you're in your 50s, or your 60s, or your 70s, or your 80s even, and you're still doing that, saying, well, eventually, they keep saying that it's all going to work out. It's all... Stop! At a certain point, you just have to say, well, it looks like I've been conned. I've been conned. And if, like, you had a friend or a family member that was giving all of their money to a con, and you knew it was a con, and you were trying to convince them that it wasn't, imagine how frustrating that would be. That is what it is like, having family members that are still Jehovah's Witnesses. You are sitting back, and you're screaming your lungs out, just like, please, 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 please. You just need to stop. I know you've invested so much in it, but stop. It's not going anywhere. You need to wake up to reality. And that is what it's like trying to talk to family members that are still holding on and waiting for this time. Sorry, he is the star of the show, so I suppose we should bring our main man over here onto camera. There you go, ZZ. Front and center, as you should be. But yeah, I just got into this really strange depression all day long. I was almost unfunctional because I was so sad and upset that all of these people have been lied to. All of these people for decades have just been told that it's right around the corner. Don't worry about material possessions. You don't want to store your treasures in heaven, not in earth where moth and rust consume. I probably butchered that scripture, but you know what I mean. And it's just a scam. It's nothing more than a con. And that is so depressing for me as someone that is trying to do his part for helping people wake up. It genuinely depresses me that these are human lives. And I think it only just clicked when I was doing the research, and I'm like, wait, this Watchtower is from 1950. This Watchtower is from 1950, and they were saying the same thing that they're saying today. And I usually just think, oh, okay, well, that's a 1950 Watchtower. Boom, I'm looking at the actual content, or trying to figure out what they're saying and why they're saying it. But then it just my head exploded. My head and my emotions exploded, thinking, wait, 1950? That was 40 years before I was born. That's twice as long as I've been alive. Wait, that human lives, and millions of human lives have been affected and had their entire lives virtually taken from them because of a con. And you sit here and you try and do what you can in order to help people wake up. But for the majority of witnesses, they're going to just go down with the ship. They're going to dig their heels in, and Armageddon's right around the corner. Armageddon's right around the corner. And they're not going to actively participate in their lives. And it just is incredibly, incredibly sad to me that people will just go on for so long and not just listen to the thing that's so obvious right in front of them. Right? It's the closest thing I could think of is that you're investing all of your money and you never get a cent back. And the person is not forthcoming about where the money's going or how it's increasing. But don't worry, When you hit retirement, you are going to be very happy with the results. Well, how much am I actually going to? Well, don't we'll handle that part. But just don't forget. Don't forget. 15% of your paycheck needs to always be going to this. And then they retire, and it's like, well, that didn't work. That's the equivalent of my grandmother on her deathbed. She planned her entire life around this thing, and then she's on her deathbed, and I imagine I can't imagine that someone wouldn't think, what if I was wrong about all this? Did I just waste my entire life? Did I just waste my entire life on this? Let's be happy for those of us that are out of the organization, that we're moving on with our lives and we're doing other interesting things. And yeah, I know this is like a proper Wally rant video, but yeah, this subject kind of came into my head, completely ruined my day. It sent me into this weird spiral mode. But I know I unscrewed this a long time ago, so you're probably all waiting when he's going to drink water. Well, I'm going to now. Yes, but anyway, shout out to anyone that is elderly, I guess, 60s, 70s, 80s, and you managed to make it out of the organization, because there's never a wrong time to get out, right? There's never a wrong time to stop being conned, in my personal opinion. And good for you for accepting the world as it is and moving on with your life and saying, okay, well, I have this amount of years left. Yeehaw, let's get it. Let's go for it. And let's see where it takes us. So all of that is good. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This was another proper Wally rant, and we will see you next time.